Welcome back to the College Rugby Show. It is Championship Sunday here in Boyd's, Maryland at the Maryland Soccerplex. We are down to the finals, guys. It's been a ton of rugby. 272 games down. I'm roughly the same amount of monsters into this weekend. I don't know about you guys, but we are going to get this thing over the line. It has been a fantastic weekend. We're just right down to it. Just a very little bit left.
Yeah, we're definitely on the home stretch here. I think that everybody's ready to watch the finals. Everybody's ready for this to come to a culmination. It's bittersweet because we had such a good time, but I think that people are ready to play for that final championship.
I love you busting out the OG CRC merch. Look at this thing. How long's that been? No mothballs? It doesn't even smell like mothballs.
I had to wash it twice before I came out here just to make sure. 2016 was the year that we got it, so
that's
busting it out. You might see a vintage line. We're in cahoots, I think.
Even Zach's made an effort, to spice things up.
Yes. And look, Zach, I got to commend you, right? This is your sophomore campaign. You are the same complexion, roughly, that you were when you came in.
Oh.
So the bucket hat, the suntan lotion, they all worked.
Yes, I have my tricks. I have my way to do it now. I'm a pro, okay? The sun can't hurt me. It can't touch me anymore. So, but I have to say, nothing that I have from college fits me anymore, Darian. So I don't know. I tried to bring it all to wear on the show, but there's no way that that's happening.
Actually, we're going to, in the next show, we're only wearing clothes from college for that reason. So, all right.
Is this a rugby show or is this Brooks Brothers?
Let's get to it. Let's get right back to it. We just had some really hotly contested semifinals, and our friend Darian Lovelace was down on the sideline catching some coaches as they came off. Let's go straight to it.
Here with me, head coach Sarah Price from the Coast Guard. You just took down Towson 17-12. I felt like we were all on the edge of the seats. How did you feel?
I also felt like I was on the edge of the seat. My heart rate is still coming down.
Yeah, and Towson, you knew that it was going to be pretty heavy competition. What was the game plan kind of going into that?
Well, first we wanted to change up our offense a little bit to give them a little bit of a different look from what they might have seen yesterday. And then we ended up switching back halfway through the game, and I think that paid off for us with some of the dynamic plays you saw at the end there.
We saw you guys rack up 13 phases down here off of the first try. How was the team mentality to be able to get through that many phases?
It's all about connection. I mean, we have a lot of skilled players, but it's just really mostly about connection and how they find each other. Even when they're not able to talk to each other, sometimes they still figure out how to find each other. So it's about that team connection on and off the field.
And then looking forward, now you're going to punch in your ticket to the final. We know that they're excited, but what's going to be your message to the team when you go back there?
Our message all weekend has been, forget about all the distractions here. We're just focusing on us and playing our style of rugby. So we're just going to keep following the same message.
You guys have any fun games or anything to kind of stay connected within each other?
A lot of times at these tournaments we'll end up doing some silly games, whether it be tag or some ultimate rugby, just to keep people moving around and keep things fun. So probably pick up one of those. Yeah.
You want to know what's really fun is making it to the final, huh?
Yeah, congratulations!
Fun, yeah. Congratulations on that, Coach. Thanks for your time.
Yeah, thank you.
With me right now, head coach of Adrian College, Gracie Martinez. Your team, first time at the CRCs. How are you and the team feeling with this competition?
Honestly, we're just so happy to be here. First timers, 4-year program. We're just super excited to learn and play against really, really established teams right now.
And playing against established teams, you've been coached by Ross Chow at Life.
Yeah.
What do you think you've kind of brought to the program? I mean, she's got a couple of national championships in the bag with us, right?
Right. So honestly, the way that I coach is kind of like mirroring what I saw that she did at Life with us. So she honestly has taught me everything that I personally know when it comes to coaching. I've learned from a lot of other people as well, but she has a heavy hand in how I run my program. The way that we ran it at Life is how I'm trying to pretty much do that.
What's the vibe for the team?
Right now, Dude, they're just excited. I was really nervous for this game, and they're like, Coach, it's just another game. We're here to play, and we're just here to have fun. So their vibes are, amazing. They're bringing my vibes up, and I think we're having the best time right now.
We ball with the bros. We ball with the bros.
Always.
Thank you for your time.
Thank you.
Here with me is Lexi Byrne. Right after that win, New Haven 27-10. How does it feel to continue on in the competition?
It feels really good. We've been really pushing this season, and it's really starting to show, and I'm loving seeing it.
Was your game plan to get the ball to you? Because you had 3 tries alone in that match.
I'm on the wing, so we love to draw on the defenders and, keep me on the outside, and that kept happening, so I just was always there. And
what's the motto for you guys this weekend?
The motto?
What's the vibe?
Vibe? Just keep pushing. Show them what we've been working on all season.
Beautiful. Thank you so much for your time.
Thank you.
All right, here with me, head coach Kathleen O'Neill of Iowa, where Iowa just took down Purdue in the semifinal 20-5. How you feeling?
We are feeling great today. Thank you. Yeah, it's been amazing. This team is probably the best team I've coached in collegiate rugby as far as an entire team with a bench that can come on and do the same things that my starters do and make things happen, turnovers to scores. They are just an amazing team, and they showed that out there today, and they deserve every second in the final today. I'm so proud of them.
So we saw you guys starting to kind of kick deep with the win. First team that we've seen all day. What was the tactic there?
That's a lot of times that's our tactic anyway, because we really want to push and try to trap those other teams, make those turnovers, and get into the end zone or get into the try zone and score. So that was our philosophy with the wind at our back. We're just going to do it.
And also one of the only teams that has a whole slew of the College Rugby Show T-shirts, huh?
Exactly. They wore them very proud the other day. Very proud. So.
Well, thanks, Kathleen. Good luck to you guys in the final, okay?
Thank you. Appreciate it. Have a good one day.
You too. All right, here with me, Jen Solomon, head coach for Army. I saw you in there talking some smack to him at halftime. What was your message?
Get it done. Get it done. That's pretty much it. It's like, it's one game at a time, and right now we approach that as our final, and we just had to get it done.
What was the game plan as far as getting it done?
You want me to tell you the secrets? Overall, the team has been training for 4 months, and we just trusted our attack plan, and we knew what we had to do. There are no surprises, and we wanted to fully trust in our strengths and what we do. So, and the biggest thing was defense, right? Like, ASC is a great team. We knew they had weapons, but we knew that defense would have won this game. So it won that game, and I think that's exactly what happened.
Well, thanks for one of your little secrets that you were hiding in there. Go celebrate with your team. Good job, Jen.
Thank you.
Right there.
Look, I don't want to jump to any conclusions, but did Kathleen O'Neill from Iowa just say the College Rugby Show is what's boosting the Hawkeyes all the ways to the final here?
We'll take it.
We'll take that credit.
Who's behind us here? We go.
Who's boosting us?
Got some Roger Williams Hawks back there.
We got some wheeling.
I see Alexis Dallas stalking me, and now I'm terrified. It's going to be hard to focus the rest of the show. Look, we are just fresh off our semifinals. As we mentioned, we had some really hotly contested games in the lower divisions, D3, D2, separated by 10 and 12 points combined in those divisions, those semifinals. Zach, run us through them.
There's some epic matchups here on day 2 of the women's tournament. We're going to start in D1 Club. All right, those are a little bit larger margins of victory here. Iowa heavy for D1 Club in the semis. Northeastern 31-5 over Northern Iowa in that first match. For Northeastern, Courtney Bashot-Dunner from Brooklyn, New York. She's telling all the other teams forget about it this weekend. She had 4 tries on day 1, including a hat trick against Notre Dame. All right, the other final, on the other side, semifinal, Iowa 20-7 over Purdue. The Hawkeyes, the engine room for them, Grace Papson, Tabitha Keith, and Elizabeth Langlois this weekend, leading the offensive charge. Moving to D2 here, these are some pretty close matchups. Coast Guard, the 1 seed, 17-12 over the hometown heroes in Towson. That was a slugfest. That was a really good game here in the stadium. Caitlin Boggs, a mind-boggling 8 tries for Coast Guard. I'm chock full of them today on day 3. She had 8 tries in the opening 2 rounds of this tournament. She's the leader in D2 by far of tries scored, and they had pulled one out against Towson there. The other semifinal in that, Marist beat Roger Williams into overtime. Okay, we had an overtime game here. Roger Williams taking it home 24-18 after sophomore Kaya Haddad making a strong all-tournament case this so far here. She had the sudden death winner for Roger Williams over Marist in that one. Finally, D3, some more highly contested games. Almost a second overtime game here. It was Endicott over Drury. That was 15-10. I'm sorry, Pat, your Drury Panthers almost pulled it out here, but Endicott succeeding there. The 1 seed, they punched their ticket. They're going to take on Baldwin Wallace, who took down East Stroudsburg 19-10 in that other semifinal for D3. So some great matchups here. It's been a great day of rugby so far.
The 4-year All-American Tess Merrill going for her 4th national championship, 1 game left. That's a pretty incredible storyline, and she was the one who made that long break to put the goals over the line and the offload to win that game. So some really, really great games there in the lower divisions. And we've got some really great stuff in the Premier Cup, too. We just had some really hot semifinals there. Darian, you talked to those guys. You were down on the sideline. What were the vibes you picked up? And we've got Army and Brown like we've had the last 2 years. Let's do it again.
It feels so aggressive. And I think that's one of the coolest things about the matchups that we kind of had. We were looking for that Army versus American International College, and they did really well. We talked a little bit about AIC's game management, and I think that kind of did a number on them. But I think we need to address the fact that the Knights, I mean, they are so physical and they're so fit. They do their job. They're really good about selling their roles, and whenever they attack the line, they do it with such vigor behind them.
Winter Favre, looking like John Riggins out here, a vintage Redskins running back, rumbling, bumbling, stumbling her way. She, I think, ran over everybody on the other team twice on one of her runs. It was pretty impressive. It
reminded me of that scene from The Blind Side where they're like, "Where are you taking him?" And he's like, "The bus to go home." Do you remember that scene? Where she really took it upon their shoulders. And like you were kind of talking about, Zach, you need those players that are going to take it on their shoulders to be that match, that kind of lights the fire to change the momentum. All four teams, I think, that made it to the semifinals have that, but you've got to give the flair to Brown University and to Army. They really have these very connected players that are very well endowed in their play, and they're very confident in it as well. Confidence and then the basics are really going to make a change here, and game management. We talked a little bit about kickoffs. You and I have kind of been a little bit frustrated with people trying to go the 10 to compete. The wind right now is not on their side.
So are we talking about this Army? This Army team? Okay. That's the point I made to Army. They were in control of that game with a minute and a half to go, and they're still rushing. So that's a little immaturity that hopefully they can fix, because when you got it, you just need the possession. You don't need to take quick taps. You don't need to rush your line out. But good contest, right? Great contest, and contrast in style, and setting us up for a perfect contrast in style in the final. Physical, physically dominant Brown against probably a little bit faster, fitter Army.
Winter Favre versus Akila Cathy in a Run It Straight challenge? Are you kidding me?
I have no idea
Cathy's
what you're talking about right
now.
It's like Carmen Sandiego. I never knew what that was either. I had to research it yesterday.
It's literally my childhood. No big deal. That's fine. But we also have to talk about Penn State here, right?
Yes.
Of course, Brown is the presumptive favorite. They're going for the three-peat, but they didn't get there easily. The Nittany Lions made them work for it, tied 7-7 at halftime.
Yeah, and also, I mean, Penn State was one of our mid-seeders, right? They were either 4 or 5, I think it was, and so they came back and they beat Queens to kind of knock off that dream for them. And you've got to give credit to Penn State. We've talked about the legacy that they had 12 national championships for them. They made it now to the Final Four. Haven't really seen much of them when it's come to sevens, but with their head coach, I mean, she's making a big difference. She was such a prominent part of Penn State and their legacy, and now to see her give back, I mean, you can see the injection of that powerful, straight-up running that she was known for in college. You can kind of see it come to fruition with Penn State, and I think that they needed a head coach like that on their side.
Yeah, Lauren Schisler's doing a really good job there.
What impressed me about Penn State, too, is they really spread the scoring out over the weekend. You had a lot of players with, putting scores in. Sometimes you'll see, like I mentioned earlier, with 8 tries in it, for a team, or 4 tries, but they had Amber Bigler, Amelia Green, Danny Deere, Lucinda Brady, and Jada Rudkin all scoring tries in day one, and they put some scoring in here, too. So I don't know how common that is. I mean,
did you have a really good night's sleep last night? Because you are on your game.
Oh, my gosh.
You are on your game.
He didn't. That's why. He didn't sleep at all.
I'm running on
last
adrenaline
night.
today, so pure adrenaline. But it's really
found
impressive.
the secret.
Yeah.
We found it.
Absolutely.
Well, let's talk a little bit about this matchup then. I mean, there's some speed on both sides, but there's a lot of power on both sides. Do you see? I think it's two very evenly matched teams, and honestly, Akila Cathy, is this a game where you got to play her the whole game? She's been playing 7 minutes. She's one of the biggest forces in this tournament. If you're Raj Chow, are you gonna save her till the second half, or are you starting her this time?
I think she's got to kind of read it right now. I think that with Army, you've got to bruise them in the middle. AIC did a good job of making those really big hits continuously. And even though that score didn't exactly show the competition, I think that AIC did have probably the more competitive defense there. As far as Cathy goes, she's an instrumental part, but we've got to talk about Nikki Lynch.
Yeah.
We got to talk about Nikki Lynch. Nikki Lynch can go in there. She's coming back from injury, and she can go ahead and she can play a full game. She scored twice against Penn State alone, right? She's a good heads-up player. For me, she's going to be that difference maker. If her and Cathy can kind of buy into the same mentality, if you can kind of run Cathy out of the tank completely, then that's really going to be tough for Army to contain. But Army, they're midfielders. Like you were saying, they're really, really fit in the middle, and they make the smart passes when they're under pressure. You're going to need that whenever you've got really big physical tacklers who aren't afraid to go ahead and take the contact and get the job done. So for me, Cathy is an extremely instrumental part of it, but I mean, Nikki Lynch, for me, is going to be the difference maker for Brown.
It's going to be a fantastic final.
So you going for Brown?
Well, hey, you just keep it in the holster, Steve. All right,
I'm like, maybe.
Yeah, the least biased panel in the history of the Collegiate Rugby Championship. Her former head coach on one side, his former team on the other side. Nobody's favorites here. I just hope everybody has fun. And you know what's going to be fun is talking to Olympic captain Nia Tapper, which we're going to do just on the other side of this break.
Let's get ready. Major League Rugby is now.
This is the moment we waited for. Everything you want is right here. We gon' give them what they came for. We gon' take it up from last year.
The Rugby Network is giving you all the free MLR content you want, live and on demand. Never miss a hit, never miss a try, never miss your team. MLR on TRN. Never miss a match.
In our game, we play with our hearts. We don't play with sticks, bats, or gloves. We don't wear shoulder pads or helmets. We keep playing when it hurts. And we leave everything on the field. What we wear must be built for our game.
We are live here at the Maryland Soccerplex for the 15th Collegiate Rugby Championship. It is Championship Sunday. 4 women's teams are going to be crowned national champions here in just a little bit. And we are joined by somebody else who's also a pretty big champion here in the American rugby community, and that is Miss Nia Tapper, captain of the bronze medal-winning USA Olympic team in Paris. Where's that medal, Nia? I was hoping I might get to, touch it, take a picture.
I thought about bringing it, but it's actually in my safety box at home. So
I lose everything I travel with. That's probably a good move.
Yeah.
How often do you pull that thing out? Do you sleep with it at night every once in a while? Do people ask to touch it when they come over?
Get a reminder that I won a medal. I'm like, let me actually see it to make sure it's true or that wasn't just a dream. But I take it out every now and then for speaking engagements or different rugby engagements like this. So
that's awesome.
Yeah.
I got to ask you about, in college, you played against the Life Running Eagles and our co-host over here, Darian Lovelace.
Yeah.
I know, my throat still hurts, actually, from a couple of those stiff arms I got from back.
Apologies.
So.
How early was that into your rugby career? Because you started it. Talk to us about how you got started at UNC, because you got started really late, and you still were able to get to the absolute top of the game.
Yeah. I think I came at a lucky time where they were looking for athletes that they can turn into rugby players versus looking for rugby players. There weren't many back then. And so I was walking across the quad at UNC Chapel Hill and seen a sign for rugby. And I knew it was something I was interested in because I loved contact sports, but I never had an opportunity to participate. So because I wasn't doing anything at that time, I'm like, this is my time to shine. So ended up going out to that tryout for the club team there at UNC. Of course, making it, because at that time everybody makes it. And then from there, I want to thank my track and field background, because I think that allowed me to shine in that space, because I wasn't the best rugby player, but eventually through a lot of development I was able to become
the best rugby player. Let me say it for you. Let me just say it for you.
Yeah, thank you.
Well, UNC Chapel Hill, so you play them probably one semester, and, they don't have Nia Tapper. Then she walks across the quad. The right person talks to her. Darian, did you have any idea that there was Jonah Lomu over there?
Yes, we did. We actually, so whenever I got there, I think Nia had started, because when we went to play UNC, they came to life, and our number one goal was don't let Nia Tapper score. Because then Coach Ross was like, if you let her score, then for each point that she scores, you're going to have to run sprints. And we were like, there's this one picture I remember where one of our flankers went in for a counter ruck, and it's this progression where you just see Nia just slowly stand her up, and they're both just chest to chest, just staring at each other. But each time, we would call it headhunting at Life whenever we would find really star athletes that we knew we had to kind of contain. And whenever we played UNC before we went to Final Four, that was probably one of the toughest matches I've ever played in. They really did their homework. We did our homework, and that was a really tough match where we barely, beat them 10-12 off of a buzzer, but it was really tough, throughout the whole entire time to just watch Nia. Keep an eye on Nia. And even though we had 2 or 3 people that were looking out for her, it was still like, you were supposed to watch her, and just seeing now as she progresses, it's kind of cool now to look back on it and see what you've kind of done, especially for Southern Rugby coming out for UNC and stuff. And so.
Yeah. So now I've got a question. Great to see you again. But I've got a question for you. What does the future hold, apart from supporting Army in the final against Brown? That's the immediate future. But generally speaking, you're intending to get back into rugby. You're looking to coach. Mm-hmm. What are your thoughts?
So right now, I'm still trying to find ways to be involved, more on the community engagement side and a little bit of coaching on the youth side. So I'm working with the NC All-Star Youth Rugby team right now, trying to provide some development and insight there. Also coming to rugby events like this, not only just to be a part of the environment again, but to have continue this connection with the players on the women's and the men's side, and hopefully bring out some new fans and supporters to the sport.
Yeah, it's great. I mean, so the sport does need role models, right?
Yes.
Darian's not one. I'm not one. Pat's not one.
That's so
you
wrong.
Are. So stick with it.
I will. Thank you.
Nia, let's talk about this Paris moment. 69,000 people. It's a sellout. That Spiff Cedric run, my heart is still beating out of my chest watching that thing. I mean, how has life been since then? Have you come down from the adrenaline high? I mean, that was a pretty insane moment.
Mm-hmm. I think it happened so fast. I think that moment, from the moment of winning that game to everything that happened after that, it happened so fast to where sometimes it feels like it wasn't real, as we talked about earlier. I think for me, it was a huge transition too, because I was retiring out of the sport. So I definitely miss the sport. I definitely miss my teammates, but I have been super excited with the things I've been able to get involved with after, as simple as getting my first apartment, getting my first big girl job, getting my first puppy.
Real life.
Real life.
Yeah,
real life.
I know. And, as amazing as it is to be a professional athlete, I have been looking forward to life after, so it's been good.
Well, look, you've left an incredible legacy. You know what's real is I'm going to leave here, and next Friday in Kansas City, I'm going to go watch the U.S. Women's National Team playing almost in a completely sold-out stadium, built by a women's rugby player from Princeton.
Yes.
So College Rugby builds a stadium for the first stadium in the history of women's sport professionally, and then women's rugby is going to fill it because you guys went and won a bronze medal in Paris. So thank you very much. You created that, and I want you to sit on top of that and know that. We're really proud of you, and
thank you.
We're just really happy to have you here.
Thank you. I appreciate it. Appreciate all your support.
And looking forward, you're talking about the community, you're talking about the outreach and stuff. We have people tuning in. We have a lot here. Speaking about the bronze medal, I think that ignited the change, but what do people need to do to buy into women's rugby or just rugby in the sport in general?
In my opinion, on the player side, just try it. Like, there's nothing that will affect you in a negative way to just go out and try it. If you like it, great, stick with it. If you don't, there's other sports to try. But in my opinion, this is the sport that's for everybody and that can provide you a different life experience than you've ever imagined. So in my opinion, on the player side, just try it. Everybody outside of that, just support it, whether it's sharing a post, telling people about the sport, going to a game. There's so many little things that you can do to support the sport that would have a huge impact on it. So that would be my insight on that.
Yeah, even if you try it, it's like you still have friends.
Yeah.
We're still going to invite you back to hang out.
Yeah, the community
at
is
least
the best
come back
part.
to the games. Yeah, exactly.
And I'm going to ask you the same thing I asked Kayvon yesterday. Why did you try it? I'm guessing when you're walking across the quad, it wasn't because you thought there would be a sold-out stadium in Paris 10 years later.
So the big thing, my brother, he was a huge football player. Like, I watched him growing up, and I was like, I want to be the first girl in the NFL. And quickly you realize that's not an opportunity for females. And then I seen rugby and was like, women are playing that, and it's a contact sport. That seems like a safe place for me to be a woman, be strong, powerful, and not be judged for it, to be praised for it. So that's the big thing that brought me to rugby.
I love that. And nothing about championships, something wholesome, something's awesome, and anybody can get that, right?
Yes.
You don't have to have a bronze medal to get what you got out of it.
Exactly.
So thank you very much, Nia Tapper, for joining us. We'll be right back with some predictions as we go into the women's finals here on Championship Sunday.
In a sport of power and precision, you need a powerful and precise camera. Analyze Raise your game. Build your team. Grow together.
Ready? Up.
VO captures moments. A powerful camera for a powerful sport.
Rugby! Welcome back to the College Rugby Show here at the Maryland Soccerplex. Guys, we're down to it. There's just one game left in each division that is leading to a national championship, but we're going to chew right here on Women's Premier Cup. We know who you're rooting for, all right? We already know, but who's going to win? Let's start with the least bias. Zach, Inkstain Lanning, who you got?
This was a tough one for me. Yesterday, I was pretty confident. I liked Wheeling all the way. Today, I'm not so sure. This is a great matchup. I'm very excited. I think I'm going to have to go, though, with Army. I think the fitness there, I think they've shown this weekend that they really have what it takes, and I really want Steve to be my friend. So I'm going to go. I'm going to go with him. But no, I think Army's going to take this one. That's my pick.
You shouldn't worry about him. You shouldn't be worried about him.
I know.
He's friends with everybody.
I changed my pick because I don't want Darian to be mad at me either. So,
look, I think Brown's got it. They've got everything, right? We've been here, and a great indicator of what's going to happen in the future is what's happened in the past. I'm taking Brown to win it. 3-peat. Roz, 5, standing on top of everybody else, the mountain of CRC rugby coaches. She's at the mountaintop at the end of this. Darian, Steve?
Steve told me Brown as I was walking up here. I was like, what did you say? Run that back?
Oh, no. Really? Oh, no. That's off the record, Mrs. Lovelace.
Oh, yeah, you're right. No, I mean, like I said, it's gonna be a toss-up, right? To me, it's anybody's game. I want to stick with Brown because, again, watching history get made for Ross, like the amount that she's done for the sport, the amount that she continues to do for Brown, the legacy that Kathy Flores has, and the athletes that they have as well, I think is kind of what is pulling on my heartstrings a little bit. But Jen Solomon, the interim coach, we talked a little bit about the difference in the dynamic of coaching. She was a little emotional after Army kind of took down AIC. So to me, it's a toss-up, but I'm gonna wear it proud, and I'm gonna say Brown.
May the best team win, provided it starts with an A. Obviously, there's no real loser here, right? We've got the Rose thing, we've got Brown, we've got two great teams, great athletes. Should be a fantastic game. So there really isn't a loser, But, I planted my flag in the ground early yesterday, so I'm sticking with it. Despite all this, expert witness testing me I'm getting here.
Well, the real winner all weekend has been rugby.
Yeah.
It really has been us.
Yes.
I mean, how fun has this been, right? The first time we've ever been able to do this. I think anybody in American rugby has ever done something like this. All these lights, all these people doing back. Did you guys see that?
Yeah,
back?
we saw that.
That was behind you.
I thought I dreamt it. I was like, there's no way that's back there.
So, look, we all won this weekend, and we have some thank yous. So I want to say thank you to Randall, Joseph, Ted, the TVX crew, our man Ryan Ginty for getting us started. I want to thank everybody who joined us on stage here. Of course, Darian, Steve, Zach, Jeremy Ognall. I got to thank Sophia, Wade, Jeremy, everybody at the NCR team. Congrats on the wedding. Sophia leaves here today. She goes to get married next weekend. Jake Kranz, Tyler Linus, everybody at Uncle Charlie, the thousands of rugby players, coaches that were here this weekend, referees. Thank you for giving us something to talk about. And thank you guys for watching. I also have to thank you, Steve Cohen, the grandfather of American rugby. Without you, none of this would be happening. And John Prusmack, who invented this Collegiate Rugby Championship 15 years ago. Nobody thought we'd get past 10. Because of you, because of everybody I just thanked, we did. Thank you, everyone. This has been the College Rugby Show live at the CRC.
Woo! Good job, Patty Boy. Good job.
Yes.